My God, Mary. What more could I have done?
Nothing. But you must see we're not well suited. We'd never be happy.
You won't be happy by the time I'm finished, I promise you that.
Downton Abbey 3 is officially happening with a confirmed release date in 2025 and a stellar cast filled with familiar faces. Hugh Bonneville, Elizabeth McGovern, Michelle Dockery, Phyllis Logan, Robert James Collier, Joanne Froggatt, Penelope Wilton, Leslie Nichol, and more are all set to return, along with Paul Giamatti and Dominic West. Bonneville even has teased what fans can expect, claiming it's going to be the best version of the films yet. He mentioned that it's packed with all the classic Downton thrills, saying it'll be filled with the usual tropes, which basically means a bit of drama and maybe a teacup or two getting spilled. He shared this scoop with Yahoo Entertainment back in June 2024, right after the movie was confirmed. So here's everything you need to know about the upcoming Downton Abbey 3. Let's kick things off with how the cast feels about coming back for Downton Abbey 3. Dockery shared her excitement in a video announcement from May 2024 saying, "It feels amazing, a tad emotional. It's wonderful to all be back together again. You come back together and it's like no time has passed at all. We're so happy to announce that we're in production for the third Downton Abbey movie. We can't wait to see you." Some familiar faces returning include Laura Carmichael, Jim Carter, Alan Leach, Michael Fox, Raquel Cassidy, Brendan Coyle, Kevin Doyle, Harry Haddon-Paddon, Sophie McShera, and Douglas Reeve. There are also some new additions to the cast, like Jolie Richardson, Alessandro Nivola, Simon Russell Beale, and Artie Fruition. However, Imelda Staunton hasn't been confirmed to return yet, even though she hinted at it before. Now here's where we need to tread lightly. Spoilers ahead if you haven't seen the sequel. The obvious absence will be Maggie Smith, since the Dowager Countess passed away at the end of the last film, which was teased from the first movie. Sure, flashbacks are a possibility, but it's probably not likely she'll show up in this one. As for Penelope Wilton, she hasn't been confirmed either, but she seemed eager to return, telling Digital Spy in April 2023, "I think I'd come back, oh definitely yes, even without Lady Grantham." Matthew Goode missed out on the sequel because of scheduling conflicts, and they hinted at some trouble in Henry and Mary's relationship, which could be a storyline for the next film if he can fit it into his schedule. And then there's Robert James Collier, Thomas Barrow. At the end of A New Era, Barrow got an offer from Dominic West's Guy Dexter to head to America. Since West is back for the third movie, there's a chance we might see James Collier too, but we can't say for sure. It's also unlikely that we'll see Natalie Bay or Jonathan Zakai again, since their story is wrapped up nicely with a villa transfer to the Crawleys. As we know, Downton Abbey 3 is set to hit theaters in the UK and US on September 12, 2025. But there was a 3-year gap between the first two films, partly due to COVID messing with filming schedules, and now we're seeing that same 3-year wait again. Fans have been itching for this new film to be officially announced, but before it was confirmed, there were some hopeful updates from the cast. In March 2024, Imelda Staunton confirmed during an interview that the final film was in the works, saying, "There will be the final film." There you go. But back in 2022, Hugh Bonneville was a bit uncertain about whether a third film would actually happen. He mentioned, "I thought for a while that maybe there was an energy to do a third one, but I suspect that's probably not the case. I think we'd probably quit on a high." Julian Fellowes, the creator, has always been open to more movies, saying he'd be happy to continue if the cast was on board. He remarked in May 2022, "The truth is, if they want more and the cast wants to do more, then I'm sure we'll find a way of delivering more. But I don't mind if it's run its course. I think that's fair enough too." The best way to really honor the title, Downton Abbey: A New Era, is for the third movie to shine a spotlight on the Crawleys' children. In A New Era, we saw the family and their staff on the brink of a modern age, with a film crew shooting a movie at Downton, and we also said a heartbreaking goodbye to Lady Violet, the Dowager Countess played by the legendary Maggie Smith, as the story shifted into the 1930s. The Downton Abbey series always revolved around the tangled love lives of Robert and Cora Crawley's 3 daughters, Lady Mary, Lady Edith, and Lady Sybil. Sadly, Sybil passed away early on, leaving behind her daughter Sibby with her husband Tom Branson. Then came Mary, who had a son named George with her first husband Matthew before he tragically died. Edith too faced heartbreak when her lover Michael died, but he had their daughter Marigold. Mary later had a daughter Caroline with her second husband Henry, while Edith had a son Peter with her husband Bertie. In a new era, Tom Branson welcomed a new baby with his new wife Lucy. With so many kids now part of the Crawley family, Downton Abbey 3 has the perfect opportunity to focus on this next generation as they grow up and step into the modern world. Downton Abbey: A New Era definitely lives up to its name, bringing major changes to the Crawleys and their staff. The passing of Lady Violet signals the end of an era as she represented old world values from the 19th century. With her gone, the torch has been passed to Mary, who's now the head of the family. She'll be running Downton until her son George is old enough to take over as the Earl of Grantham. While George is still young, Downton Abbey 3 could easily shift the focus to him and his cousins, especially if the film includes a time jump where they're entering their teenage years. In A New Era, we saw George, Sibby, and Marigold as innocent children, but Downton Abbey 3 could give them more screen time and development. While they'll still be younger than their mothers were at the start of the series, they're growing up in a modern world which could add new dynamics to the family as Mary and Edith transition into middle age. It'll be interesting to see if George has his mother's sharp wit or his father Matthew's level-headedness, or if Sibby shares her mother Sybil's independent spirit and her father Tom's passion for social justice. And what about Marigold? Will she wonder about her birth father, or is she content with her life as Edith and Bertie's daughter? Plus, don't forget Sibby inherited that villa in the south of France from Violet. The Crawleys hinted at turning it into a regular summer getaway for the family, which could be the perfect backdrop for the next movie. As much as we love the original characters, they're all about 2 decades older now, and it's time for the younger generation, George, Sibby, Marigold, and other cousins, to take center stage. Their mistakes, growth, and stories could provide fresh energy for Downton Abbey 3 and any future installments. They aren't just the next generation, they are Downton Abbey: A New Era. Downton Abbey 3 has a real opportunity to pass the baton to this new generation while still honoring the legacy of the original characters. The story of George, Sibby, Marigold, and the other young Crawleys in the natural evolution of the Downton saga, and with their mistakes, triumphs, and growth, they can lead the series into its next era, while still giving longtime fans everything they love about the Crawleys and their world. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop, and if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.